Hey, fifth grade, it's Miss Sullivan. I'm going to continue reading today for you from chapter 4, okay, of the Watsons Go to Birmingham. I'll read pages 56 to 58, and then you guys can read 59 to 61. Hope you're enjoying it. Here we go. This was okay for a while, but then I figured that if I told Mama I'd lost my first pair, she'd give me the second one, and me and Rufus each would have a full pair of gloves. It worked. Mama put the second pair on my coat, kindergarten style, and warned me, "This is the last one, Kenny. After this, you won't have anything for the rest of the year, so be very careful." I just about broke out laughing when she held me by the arms and looked me right in the eyes and said, "Do you know what frostbite will do to you?" "Yes, Mama." I looked sad on the outside, but on the inside I was feeling great. I gave Rufus the right hand glove, and everything was fine for about a week. That's when my second pair of gloves, kindergarten string, safety pins and all, disappeared out of the closet at school. Rufus had to let me borrow one of the old gloves back, and we went back to scrounging around, one hand each up in our coat sleeve. But since Rufus was now the official owner of the gloves, he got to keep the right hand one, and I had to wear the left one. 2 days later, Larry Dunn stopped wearing socks on his hands and started wearing a pair of real leather gloves with real rabbit fur on the inside of them. The only difference between my old gloves and Larry's new ones was that mine had been brown and Larry's were black. Me and Rufus found out when Larry ran up behind us and said, "This is Friday, y'all. Time to do the laundry. Who's going to be first? Country Cornflake? Cockeye Kenny?" He didn't wait for me to make up our minds and grabbed me first. He said to Rufus, "If you run away during Cockeye's wash, I'ma hunt you down and I'll hurt you bad, boy. This ain't gonna take but a minute, so just stick around." Rufus stood there looking worried. Larry wasn't like the other bullies. He wasn't happy taking a handful of snow and smashing it in your face and running off. Larry gave what he called Maytag washes. With the Maytag wash, you had to go through all the different cycles that a washing machine did. And even though when Larry gave you a Maytag, all the other cycles were exactly the same, each part had a different name. And the wash wasn't done until you went through the full spin and had snow in every part of your face. Ever since Larry got these new leather gloves, he was giving super Maytag washes because he could grind a whole lot more snow in your face for a whole lot longer since his hands weren't getting cold. Larry was tearing me up. I was crying even before the first rinse cycle was done, and he finally let me go. After he washed Rufus up, we started walking home, and Rufus said, "Man, he stole your gloves." Who didn't know this? But you couldn't prove it. And besides, my old gloves were brown, and Larry's new ones were black. Mine were brown," I said. Rufus dug a chunk of snow out of his jacket and said, "Look." The snow was covered with black, so was all of the snow I pulled out of my outer coat. Larry Dunn had stolen my gloves, then painted them black with shoe polish. I didn't know what to do. Sooner or later, Mama was going to notice I only had one glove, and ever since I'd found out that half my blood was that thin southern kind, I'd started wondering if frostbite really could do some damage to my hands. I couldn't help myself. I sat on the curb and sniffed a couple of times and finally cried. Rufus knew this was some real embarrassing stuff, so he sat down beside me, looked the other way, and acted like he didn't see me crying. That's how come we didn't see Bi and Bumphead walk up on us. They were too busy looking down, trying not to be too obvious about crying, and Rufus was too busy pretending he didn't notice that I was. "What you crying about, punk?" I made the mistake of telling Byron about my gloves and Larry Dunn. "Where he at?" "Washington's face is over by the school. Come on." Me and Rufus followed Bi and Bumphead over to Clark. Larry Dunn was giving a super Maytag to a fifth grader. Byron interrupted the final rinse cycle and said, "Let me see them gloves." Larry Dunn said, "I ain't." Bi snatched Larry Dunn's windbreaker with one hand, then touched his own mouth with his other hand. Okay, guys, go ahead, read 59 to 61 and complete your form for today, okay? Happy Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye, guys.